Clint Eastwood, the legendary actor, director, and Hollywood icon, has captivated audiences for decades with his rugged charm, stoic persona, and blockbuster films. From Dirty Harry to Million Dollar Baby, he has not only dominated the big screen but also amassed a fortune that most can only dream of. Yet behind the glitz and the glamour lies a story that has left his family both shocked and emotional. After decades of an illustrious career, Clint Eastwood's wealth is staggering. Real estate holdings, blockbuster earnings, directing fees, and smart investments have created a fortune worth hundreds of millions. A sum so large it's enough to change lives, and in some cases tear families apart. Despite the fame and respect he commands, the way his wealth is distributed and managed has caused tension, tears, and drama within his family. For years, Clint has lived life on his own terms, known for his private nature and enigmatic personality. But now, as the details of his estate, financial planning, and the inheritance he will leave behind emerge, the public is learning that even one of Hollywood's most respected legends can't escape the emotional complexities of family and money. This is more than just a story about wealth. It's a glimpse into how fortune can affect relationships, stir emotions, and reveal truths about family dynamics that fame often hides. The drama surrounding Clint Eastwood's estate is a reminder that money, even in unimaginable amounts, can complicate. Even the Clint Eastwood is more than just a Hollywood legend. He's a symbol of grit, talent, and longevity in an industry that often chews up and spits out its stars. With a career spanning over 6 decades, his contributions as an actor, director, and producer have made him a household name. But alongside his cinematic achievements lies a staggering fortune that has left even his closest family members in awe, and, in some cases, tears. Eastwood's wealth is not just from acting. Over the years, he has made smart investments in real estate, production companies, and other ventures that have compounded into a financial empire. From multi-million-dollar homes in California to lucrative movie deals, his portfolio reflects a life of strategic accumulation and careful financial planning. Yet the sheer scale of his fortune is what truly shocks people. Reports suggest that Eastwood's net worth exceeds hundreds of millions, with a combination of liquid assets, property, and ongoing royalties that will continue generating income long after he's stepped away from the spotlight. What makes the story even more dramatic is the impact this fortune has on his family. Clint Eastwood is known for his private and independent nature, often making decisions without consulting the world at large. While his children and loved ones undoubtedly benefit from his success, the enormity of his wealth has also stirred emotional reactions, moments of joy, but also tears and tension. Questions about inheritance, asset distribution, and long-term financial planning have created a mix of gratitude, anxiety, and even conflict among those closest to him. Eastwood's family has witnessed firsthand the lifestyle and opportunities that come with such wealth. Luxury homes, access to Hollywood's inner circle, and financial security that most can only dream of. Yet with money comes responsibility and sometimes emotional strain. Even a figure as disciplined and private as Clint cannot shield his family entirely from the pressures, expectations, and emotions tied to an estate of this magnitude. Beyond dollars and cents, Clint's fortune also represents his legacy, the culmination of decades of work, risk, and creative vision. Each film, every directing credit, and all his business ventures have contributed to a body of wealth that cements him as both an artistic icon and a financial powerhouse. But it's this very fortune, tied closely to personal and familial relationships, that makes the story so compelling and, for some family members, profoundly emotional. As the world begins to examine the scale of Clint Eastwood's wealth and its potential impact on his family, it becomes clear that even legendary figures are not immune to the complexities of inheritance, emotion, and family dynamics. The fortune itself is remarkable, but the human reactions surrounding it, tears, tension, and unspoken questions, tell a story that goes far beyond money. Closest bonds. Clint Eastwood's wealth may be impressive on paper, but behind the scenes, it has stirred emotions, tensions, and even tears within his family. While many see a legacy of success, those closest to him understand that managing fortune, especially one of such magnitude, comes with unexpected challenges. Eastwood has long been known for his private and independent nature. He makes decisions on his own terms, rarely broadcasting personal matters to the public. However, the scale of his fortune means that family members inevitably become entangled in questions about inheritance, asset distribution, and long-term planning. Even among a tight-knit family, disagreements and anxieties arise when so much is at stake. Sources close to the family reveal that while some relatives are grateful and appreciative, others struggle with the emotional weight of managing expectations versus reality. The prospect of inheriting such a substantial estate can create both excitement and strain, particularly when assets include real estate holdings, business interests, and royalties that require careful oversight. Even simple decisions about who gets what can be fraught with emotional complexity. Beyond the logistics of wealth, Clint's private lifestyle adds another layer to the drama. He has children and grandchildren from multiple relationships, and balancing fairness, love, and loyalty is no easy task. Questions about equity, acknowledgement, and control over assets have at times created tension, not out of greed, but from the natural human desire for security and clarity in the face of such an extraordinary fortune. Friends close to Eastwood say that the tears within the family aren't solely about money. They stem from the emotional weight of realizing just how significant his legacy is and the responsibility of carrying it forward. While wealth brings comfort, it also comes with expectation, scrutiny, and the pressure to uphold the name of a Hollywood icon. Family members feel the intensity of this responsibility, sometimes leading to private moments of frustration, worry, or tears of both joy and anxiety. Clint Eastwood himself is reportedly aware of these dynamics and strives to maintain balance. Though he is often seen as stoic and unflappable in public, those who know him well say he is attentive to the emotional realities of his family. He understands that money, while powerful, cannot replace the human elements of understanding, fairness, and empathy that are essential in a family. The drama behind Clint's fortune serves as a reminder that wealth, even when extraordinary, is rarely purely positive. It can amplify emotions, reveal underlying tensions, and highlight vulnerabilities. For the Eastwood family, it is a double-edged sword, a blessing of immense opportunity paired with the complexities of human emotion, responsibility, and expectation. As the family navigates the challenges that come with Clint's fortune, one thing becomes clear. Even Hollywood legends cannot escape the deeply human realities of love, responsibility, and the emotional impact of wealth. The fortune may make headlines, but the emotions it evokes are just as significant, and sometimes far more profound. Behind Clint Eastwood's quiet, stoic demeanor lies a meticulously built empire, one that few truly understand. While most people know him as a film legend and Hollywood's tough guy, the reality is that Eastwood has been equally strategic in crafting his financial empire. His estate is not just about money, it's a reflection of his values, his independence, and his long, extraordinary journey through life. Throughout his career, Eastwood has always valued control, both in front of and behind the camera. That same principle applies to how he built his estate. Rather than relying solely on acting income, he invested heavily in real estate, production companies, and even quiet business ventures that most fans never knew existed. From his luxurious California properties to his golf resort in Carmel and a vast collection of land and investments, Eastwood's financial foresight ensured long-term stability for generations to come. But what has left his family emotional, and in some cases, completely shocked, are the details hidden within his estate planning. Insiders reveal that Clint made very specific arrangements for how his wealth would be distributed, focusing not just on fairness, but on the legacy he wanted to leave behind. Some family members have discovered that he left portions of his fortune to charitable causes close to his heart: environmental preservation, education, and veteran support, rather than strictly dividing it among his children. This decision reportedly brought both admiration and tears. His family understands Clint's desire to give back. It's consistent with his lifelong belief in hard work, discipline, and leaving the world better than he found it. But for some, the realization that a significant part of his estate would not remain within the family was deeply emotional. It wasn't about greed. It was about understanding that Clint's heart was always tied to something bigger than fame or fortune. Even the structure of his estate reflects his personality: private, efficient, and deeply thoughtful. He reportedly set up trusts, foundations, and funds designed to protect his assets from public scrutiny and ensure that his wishes are carried out precisely as intended. This level of preparation is rare, even among Hollywood's elite, and it reveals just how intentional Eastwood has been in shaping not only his career, but also his financial legacy. Close friends describe Clint's approach as old school, grounded in values rather than vanity. For him, wealth is a tool, not a trophy. His estate planning mirrors his belief that success is meaningless without purpose, and money should serve to build, protect, and inspire rather than divide. That philosophy is why his financial legacy extends beyond his family, reaching into communities, causes, and institutions that align with his vision of integrity and perseverance. But as noble as these decisions are, they have inevitably stirred complex emotions. The realization that part of Clint's fortune will go to public causes rather than private inheritance has sparked tears, a mix of pride, respect, and bittersweet acceptance. His family members understand deep down that Clint's legacy was never about materialism. It was about meaning. In many ways, the hidden secrets of Clint Eastwood's estate reveal the essence of the man himself, a self-made icon who values principles over possessions. His wealth may be vast, but it's his wisdom that defines him, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire, even as it brings his family to tears. As Clint Eastwood steps back from the spotlight, his story stands as one of the most remarkable in Hollywood history, a tale not just of fame or fortune, but of integrity, hard work, and purpose. Now in his 90s, Eastwood's legacy extends far beyond his films, his accolades, or even his immense wealth. It is a legacy built on resilience, character, and a belief that success must be earned, not inherited. For his family, the full scope of what he has left behind is both inspiring and overwhelming. When the details of his estate and last wishes began to surface, emotions ran high. There were tears, not only because of the staggering financial numbers involved, but because of what those numbers represented. Every dollar, every investment, every asset symbolized years of dedication, sleepless nights on set, and a relentless pursuit of excellence that defined Clint Eastwood's life. His children, while blessed to be part of such a legacy, also understand the weight of it. Clint raised them with the values of independence and self-reliance, often reminding them that nothing in life comes easy. His decision to divide his estate carefully, prioritizing causes he cared deeply about, reflects those very lessons. It's his way of teaching one final, lasting truth, that the greatest inheritance isn't wealth, but wisdom. In private, family members have reportedly shared stories of how emotional it was to see Clint's will and the legacy he crafted. Some cried tears of gratitude, realizing how deeply he had thought about their futures and the world they would live in. Others shed tears of nostalgia, remembering the moments they shared, a father who, beneath his quiet exterior, cared deeply, planned carefully, and loved fiercely. For Clint himself, his fortune was never about excess or vanity. He lived a disciplined life, rarely indulging in Hollywood's wild side. Instead, he built something lasting, a legacy of creativity, philanthropy, and integrity. His decisions in his later years, from charitable donations to responsible wealth management, show a man who never lost sight of what truly matters: purpose, peace, and family. As fans reflect on his long and iconic career, they see a man who stayed true to himself in a world that constantly changes. From cowboy classics to Oscar-winning dramas, Eastwood never followed trends. He created them. And now, as his family processes the incredible legacy he leaves behind, they do so with tears of admiration and love, realizing they are not just inheriting wealth, but the story of a man who inspired generations. The fortune he leaves behind will continue to make an impact long after he's gone, funding charitable causes, supporting his loved ones, and carrying forward the principles he lived by. For his family, those tears are not of sorrow, but of pride. Pride in knowing that Clint Eastwood didn't just build a fortune, he built a legacy that will live forever. In the end, the man who once defined Hollywood's idea of toughness leaves behind something far greater than fame. He leaves behind proof that the greatest strength lies not in power or money, but in the ability to live with purpose, give with compassion, and inspire with authenticity. Clint Eastwood's name will be remembered not just as an actor or a director, but as a man who turned his life's work into a lasting gift for those he loved and for the world.